You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Salam. My name is Sheikh Abu Hakim Abdullah, President Chairman of Al-Masjid Sharia Allah, a non-profit religious organization operating in the state of Rhode Island, USA. I'm going to talk to you about how people trying to separate us and don't want to give us our rights, what we're supposed to do, what we deserve as they give to others. The other day, not too long ago, I received a letter from the Democratic National Committee. It's the letter here, the envelope anyway. And it's the answer, it was one of the answers of one of the statements I got from a letter I wrote to the President of the United States. I don't know what to say about the different parties. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. And I don't belong to no one group. The only group I belong to is a large group. I'm an Orthodox Muslim following Islam. But I am I don't know what you call it, I forgot the name of it already. Some of you have to forgive me, but I forget names very fast now. But I belong to no single party. But anyway, I got a letter asking for a donation to the Democratic Party. But the letter that I sent out was to the President of the United States several times, telling about the work we was doing in Rhode Island and asking him to come here and have a town hall meeting with Senator Reid and Senator Whitehouse and the two Congress members, because our state is completely Democratic, or a Democratic state. And I wanted him to explain his work to the Muslim population here and what he's going to do with them and for them. But I never got a reply back. The only reply back I got was 2 letters from the National Committee asking me for money. Now, we're a nonprofit, and we need some money. I need some money to do the work I'm doing here in Rhode Island. So I don't have any money to give anyway, but if I did, I'd probably give it to a group that was trying to benefit the children, help educate the children, help feed the children around the world, and help feed the children in the United States. I wouldn't put it on politics to get somebody elected, I don't think, because I believe that they're spending too much money on election now that can go for something else, that can benefit something else. A great deal of things that $200-300 million that they spend on election. One candidate spend $200-300 million. That don't make no sense to me. But anyway, I received this letter from Obama's campaign group, President Obama's campaign group. Now, the letter I wrote to him was about doing something here in Rhode Island to bring jobs and stuff to our people. And then I say our people, I say the people of Rhode Island. I didn't say the Muslim only. I said the people of Rhode Island when I wrote to him. He was trying to do that sister city, sister state relationship program I told you about before. But anyway, I received this letter asking for some finance to help his campaign, help him get elected. I received that several times. And one of the things that gets me is that I'm an Orthodox Muslim minister. And I'm not a terrorist. I lean more to fundamentalism because I want the original Islam to be practiced in the world. Like the other fundamentals in the dictionary, it says the fundamentalist is one that wishes to have the original way back in action and practiced. Doesn't say anything about terrorizing anyone. So I lean more towards being a fundamentalist. So I usually use the term orthodox instead of fundamentalist. Now, I heard the president speak on the television, and I heard him make statements when they asked him, well, are you going to talk to the terrorists? Have a meeting with the terrorists, like they was having in Pakistan. He said, no, I will not meet with the terrorists. I will only meet with moderates. Now, that's a heck of a thing to say, and that's a big mistake he made. There's 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, or more. And out of that it must be maybe 25 million moderates. that know what moderate is and know what modernism means and confess to be moderates or trying to be moderates. One of the things that moderate means is to be up to date in their religious practice and be friendly with everybody else and be on an even basis with other religions. Well, the majority of Muslims in this world is not moderates. That word doesn't need to come into their vocabulary. They're not trying to bring modern times into Islam or carry themselves in a moderate fashion. So when he said he's only going to speak to moderates, what about the other Muslims? What about the other Muslims? The Muslims that want to practice and follow what Allah has given to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 1460-something years ago. What about them? There's close to 7 or 8 million Muslims in the United States. And I believe they're only counting the foreign Muslims that came over here from overseas. I don't think they're counting the brothers and sisters that was here when the foreign Muslims got here. I came here many years ago. I think only 7 million Muslims. You know, I don't even think the way it looks and the way it acts and who's in Washington D.C. and who's speaking on his side as representatives of the president's office. It is only foreign brothers from overseas. The brothers here that are Latino, African American, European, that was in this country when them foreign brothers started coming here, are not working out of the White House. And not running the so-called Islamic Committee of the United States or any organization in Washington, D.C. So I guess he's only talking about the moderate brothers from Pakistan because that's the ones he's talking to. The people of this country here haven't learned a thing. Maybe they should talk to England about how to talk to the Muslims, how to be with Muslims. They should learn talk to England about that because England was in them countries long before the United States got involved with Muslims overseas. But I want to know, how does he expect me or other Muslims that's in the same category I'm in to donate to his party and his group when he's saying that he's not going to speak to us? He's not going to have no meetings with us. He's putting the regular Muslims in the same category as a terrorist. That's what he seemed to be doing. Because he won't speak to the terrorists, and he's not going to speak to the majority of the Muslims. I think he got his thing a little mixed up. If a man says he's not going to speak to me, and he's not going to deal with me, how can I help him? So that's what I'm talking about with that. I don't know where they're getting it from, how is he getting it, but Mr. President, I believe you should take back that statement that you made, or explain that statement that you made to the Muslim population around the world. Not only in the United States, but around the world. The only brothers you're going to talk to then is the moderates. Then who are you talking to? What Muslims are you talking to about Islam? What Muslims are you talking to in Pakistan? What Muslims are you talking to in the United Arab Emirates, Oman, Qatar, Turkey? Are these moderates? Are these brothers considered moderates? Because a lot of us consider moderates as those that's trying to add something to the Islam. And that's a no-no in Islam. You can't take nothing out and you can't put nothing in. So you gotta deal with that, Mr. President. You have to really deal with that. You have to explain, what do you mean? What did you mean by that statement? Who are you talking to when you spoke in Cairo? Who are you talking to when you spoke when you went to Palestine or the West Bank or Gaza? Who did you speak to in Pakistan? In Turkey? And all these other places? Are they moderates? Are they the moderate people, the so-called ones that's trying to modernize the Islam? If that's what you're saying, I'm speaking to the ones that's going to modernize Islam, the ones that's going to strive and practice only the spiritual way of Islam, and the physical things in Islam they're going to shun away from, push it away from them. They're going to just walk around and be spiritual Muslims And the physical Muslim, they're not going to touch that. I'm talking to you, brothers and sisters, and I'm saying it right on the internet, and letting everybody hear what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I'm not fascism. I'm not a terrorist. And I'm not a hypocrite. And I'm not apostate or any of those things. Or am I trying to modernize Islam to match the Christian or the Jew or the Hindu or the Buddhist or the Seventh-day Adventist or the Father Divine or whatever? Because I go along with what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to the Jew, when the Jew came up to him and asked him about his way of life. And they was getting ready to get into a thing about it. And the Prophet says, nah, la. Says, you're not going to worship what I worship, and I'm definitely not going to worship what you worship. And you're not going to follow what I follow, and I'm not going to follow what you follow. So let us part in peace. Let us part in peace. To you your way, and to me mine. Salam. And they parted. And that's the way I feel. I abide by the laws of the land, and I abide by the laws of Islam. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for the water. So I advise you to sit down and re-examine what you said. I don't see around you no representatives of Islam. And you got over 7 million Muslims in the United States. And like I said, the majority of them 7 million or 8 million is foreign brothers and sisters. Came over here to go to school, came over here, opened up jobs, opened up a factory, or opened up a store, or to teach in school, or work in a hospital, or just came over here as part of the groups that you allow each country to enter the United States, a certain amount from each country. And then those that came over here doing the killing in Somalia. In Darfur. So, I don't know if I'm going to hear from you. And like I always do, I will send your office a copy of this. And understand that I will also send a copy of the tapes and the programs that you can look at on the internet. I had 40-something on the internet, and they're starting to change now because they want more. They want to make money. So now they're trying to make a one-page thing. So I don't know how many you're going to be able to look at on the internet. But you will have a copy of what's on the internet. And remember that all these programs, excuse me, all these programs are being seen around the world. Being seen in 100 and something countries. Major countries. On Google, and YouTube, and Facebook, and eBay, and Yahoo, around the world. Because I'm trying to defend Islam against its enemies, outside or inside the Islam. Anybody that's trying to change the Islam from its original way is an enemy of Allah. And an enemy of the Islam. And an enemy of the Muslims. That's following the right way. So, you will receive a copy of this probably long before it even gets on television here in the United States. Because it is on television in certain parts of New England. 1 million people look at it in Rhode Island, and some see it in Connecticut, and some see it in parts of Massachusetts and other states. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta wal maghdubi 'alayhim wad-dallin. Amin. Sadaqallahu al-azim.